guys, and welcome back to my channel. So if you've clicked on this video, you probably want to know what the dupe is for the RCMA No Colour Powder. Just as a preface, I know this isn't like really expensive, especially in the US, but I know it's not that easy to get hold of in the UK. So I thought I'd try something out, and it's quite controversial because I don't even know if you're supposed to use this on your face, but you can use it on babies. So I think you know what I'm going to dupe it with, and that is the Johnson's baby powder. This was £1 and you get 100 grams of product, and the RCMA you get 3 ounces. I'm not entirely sure what that is in grams. I will put it up somewhere on the screen, just for those who are like me who don't know the difference. But it feels about the same amount. If anything, this feels less. So in order to test this, I'm going to put the Johnson's baby powder on this side, on my right side, and I'm going to use the RCMA on my left. And in order to make sure that this works as well as it can, I'm going to use a primer I've been using recently that I really like, with a foundation that I know is also tried and true, and that is the Faced Hangover Face Primer. I think it's the Hangover X Face Primer, and the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation. So I'm going to put both of these on, and I'm going to use my favorite concealer combination, which is the Maybelline Fit Me and the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea. And I'm using these two because they're both quite hydrating, and I'm going to see how they both work against each other by baking with these powders. So in order to do that, I need to use a good concealer that I trust. So without further ado, I'm just going to do my face makeup, and I'll be right back. So as you can see, I've now done my full face, concealer, foundation, everything. So now is the moment of truth. So I'm just gonna start off with the RCMA side. I'm just removing the wrapping from the Johnson's. So I'm going to just take the lid off and pop. Oh, wow, that went absolutely everywhere. Just pop it in the lid. Okay, now I'm just gonna zoom you guys in. Right, so now you can see all the ugly truth. I'm just going to pat my concealer in to make sure there's no creases, and I'm going to dip my wet sponge into the pot of RCMA powder, and I'm going to pick some up, and I'm just going to press it under my eyes to set naturally creasing. Typically I don't bake because it does feel quite dry for me, but I think for this instance I think I can take. So that's how much I would typically bake on under my eyes. I'm just going to do the same on half of my chin, and the same above on my forehead. And since we're being extra, let's do under the jawline as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that sit, and while that is sitting, I'm going to the other side with the Johnson's. Now this doesn't come with a lid like the RCMA, it actually comes with a little, so it comes out like this. I'm going to have to actually use my hand, so I have to put some on my hand. Oh, it smells so good. Right, I'm going to use the other side of my sponge and basically repeat the same process on this side of my face. Typically I will let this bake for about 5 5 minutes, and in that time I'm just going to quickly do my brows and mascara, and I'll be right back. I've now done my eyebrows and my liner, and now we are going to brush off the bake. So I'm going to start off with the RCMA side. I more or less know what this is going to look like because I've done it before, but let's get this done. As you can see, it's given me quite clear definition, and it has left a little bit of a cast, but not a truly like horrific white cast. Now I'm most worried obviously about the Johnson side because it is really, really white, but let's see how that goes. Skin tone, I personally can't see a white cast on either side. Because my skin is quite dry around here, both sides look quite similar in the way it's brushed off and the powder that's left behind. This side is drier, and that is because I've actually got dry patches right under my eye here, so that is quite evident. But I have to say, touching both sides are very, very soft and smooth, and yeah, it feels really nice. It feels really set. Both sides, you know, face, like looking straight ahead, look almost exactly the same. Like I mentioned, this side looks drier. I am going to put that down to the fact that I've got more dry skin in that area, so I don't think baking really helps, but it's good to know that the powder sets quite nicely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off the rest of my face as I would with my blusher, my bronzer, all that kind of stuff, and then I'll be right back. Okay, now that I've got all my makeup on, I've even sprayed my face with some Fix Plus just to kind of introduce some moisture back into my face, and I have to say all my makeup went on absolutely perfectly on both sides. I had no issue with the Johnson side, and obviously didn't have any issue with the RCMA side considering it's made for your face. So let me just check the time. Yeah, I actually experienced no skipping, absolutely nothing. Like, the Johnson side actually just went on as a normal face powder would, so I'm actually really, really impressed at the moment. Okay, it's 11:45 today, and I will check back in with you maybe around 6 p.m. So I'm going to try and wear this for as long as possible. I've got loads of errands to run, I've got to go out, so I've got loads of things to get done today, and I thought I'd film a little bit earlier so I can wear it for a lot longer, because I want to see whether the Johnson side stays as nice as it's looking right now, and whether it keeps me matte on my forehead and my nose and my chin, because typically that is where I tend to get oily if I do get oily. I mean, I'm quite dry today, so maybe I won't get oily at all, but we will see. And I'll see how long it makes both sides of concealer last, because I know roughly how long it would last with the RCMA anyway, so I'd have a good indicator by the end of the day. So saying that, I will check back in with you guys in a few hours time. So I'm back now. It is now 6:24, so it's been around 7 hours. I think I have a good idea of how I feel about both sides. Obviously I've used the RCMA one before, so I know how it performs, but I was obviously curious about the Johnson. So I'm going to go with what is the same for both powders. And what I can say is both powders kept my makeup on really, really nicely, because after I baked, I swept it down onto my cheek, so the rest of my foundation stayed on as it would if I just used a normal powder all over my face. And both sides look exactly the same. I don't see more oil on one side than the other, and both sides look almost identical in that respect. Now, under my eyes, I would say they look exactly the same. Both sides the concealer has faded the exact same. I'm happy to actually, you know what, I'll zoom in so if you can see how that looks. Both sides look exactly the same when it comes to my under eyes, all over my face. Everything has remained exactly the same. If anything, I would say my highlighter is a little bit more pronounced on the side with the Johnsons. Yeah, I think they both look exactly the same. Honestly, if I wasn't the one who had put the Johnson's baby powder on my face, I actually wouldn't be able to tell the difference, because to me they look identical. Even the dry patch that I had earlier has calmed down, probably due to the natural oils in my face. One thing I will say is neither powder prolonged the use of my foundation. So it has been 7 hours, it's completely rubbed off my chin, and I put both powders there, and it's come off my nose where I also put both powders. So it hasn't come off, sorry, it hasn't prolonged my makeup on either side. I feel like they look exactly the same. So can I confidently say that we've got a dupe? Definitely. I think I actually will be trying this out more often, because it's actually really nice. It's got a really nice slippy feel to it, quite similar to the RCMA powder. So they are really similar in that respect. I have a feeling that if you are darker than me, maybe even if you're a medium skin tone or a darker skin tone, I'm not sure whether this will have a white cast, so I can't actually speak for other skin tones. I will definitely ask a couple of my friends to try it out to see how it works on their skin tone, and I'm happy to report back. So if you guys want to tweet me or whatever to find out, definitely do that and I'll let you guys know. But other than that, I mean, I'm really impressed about how good this actually is. I'm just going to do one more test because it is quite dark now, so this is a good opportunity just to see if there's any flashback. So let's switch off this ring light. Let's just plunge myself into darkness. Let's do this. Ooh. Let's have a look. While it has not painted me in the best light, there is absolutely no flashback. It just looks exactly the same on both sides. Again, both sides look exactly the same. I have not experienced any flashback. So I think I can confidently say that Johnson's baby powder is probably going to be my new powder. I'm definitely going to be trying this out with other foundations. Would I recommend baking with them? No. If you've got skin like mine, which is a little bit dry around the under eyes, definitely not. I only baked with both of these because I wanted to see how they perform properly against each other, because just dusting it on my face isn't really going to give me a good idea of how they work. So I thought I would bake for that reason. But on normal day, I don't think I will actually. I think I'll just use this like a normal powder, because it does set really nicely. It's really smooth. It's actually prolonged my highlighter, in my opinion, I feel, because this side's definitely come off. So I feel like the Johnson's baby powder is a little bit more forgiving on anything you put on the tops of your cheekbones. So is this a dupe? Hell yeah. If anything, it's actually better. I'm just putting it out there. So if you haven't got the RCMA because you can't find it, or maybe you can't afford it, definitely give this a go. You're not really losing anything. It's only £1, probably $1 in the US. I'll put down in the description box if it did anything weird to my skin, because obviously I'm going to be editing this tomorrow, so I'll have an idea whether it's done anything weird to my skin, so I can definitely put a disclaimer. But there is a disclaimer anyway, because don't use anything you're not sure of, but because this is for babies, I'm pretty sure it's okay. It just says don't put this near a baby's mouth. So for that reason, I think it's okay to use on the face. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know if you like this kind of video. Just leave me a comment. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe and all that good stuff. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.